Send in the clowns.
My reporting and my sourcing, there's not going to be any reshoots of any kind with any actors. He wanted to do additional photography, but HBO Max said, no, that's not happening. We'll give you money for post-production, for special effects, for scoring, and even ADR with the actors, but no reshoots are not happening of any kind on this movie.
Right.
So this movie is basically one and done.
I'm sure people already know this, that there are going to be no reshoots for this, but all of the footage from this is taken from the stuff that Zack Snyder shot.
So here is some breaking news that honestly I don't think anybody expected, but it is being confirmed by The Hollywood Reporter that Zack Snyder is back directing additional scenes for the upcoming Snyder Cut.
90% of the time I have no idea what the f I'm talking about.
Hello and welcome everyone to another Comic Movie Marks video.
Breaking news. Checks the notes. The bloggers are wrong again.
Say what, girlfriend? What you talking about, Willis? Come on, Raj.
Does this seem like deja vu to you? It is for us, but once again, the bloggers and journalists are wrong again about Zack Snyder's Justice League. After one particular individual that you saw in the intro, Mr. Umberto Gonzalez for The Wrap, said that according to his sources, there was no additional photography. This movie is one and done. Well, guess what, Umberto? Once again, you are wrong. You are wrong, as you've been so many times about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and somehow you continue to not learn your lesson.
People continue to backtrack or give their opinion on what they think is really going on, but at the end of the day, they don't really know, and unfortunately, they have a strong audience. It is quite infuriating. Matt and I had to exchange text messages over this, and I really just wanted to...
You little... According to The Hollywood Reporter, Zack Snyder is getting his super team back together to shoot new Justice League scenes next month. Because of The Wrap's exclusive article talking about how there would not be any additional photography, a lot of people fell for that information because that information unfortunately spreads like wildfire when people think they have a scoop. And unfortunately, as you saw in that intro, many fell for that. We were just sitting back looking at them like, why would you think that? Do you not understand what's going on with Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Those of us who are close to Zack Snyder's Justice League and the release of Snyder Cut movement, we were just waiting for this to be announced, and we knew it was inevitable. It was going to come. There was going to be additional photography filmed for Zack Snyder's Justice League, but it was just a matter of time. So this was not surprising to us, but lo and behold, it seemed to be surprising to some people. Some people thought, oh, look, see, it was completely done. There wasn't supposed to be additional photography.
According to The Wrap, despite initial reports suggesting otherwise, Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League will contain brand new footage. After all, you gotta bet.
Shut up, bitch!
Here at Comic Movie Marks, we like to keep our sources close to heart, but we do have a source as well. And this is how we knew ahead of time there was gonna be additional photography to Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I can't tell you who this source is, but...
And his name is John C.
Got him! Got him!
Ha ha, very funny, motherfucker.
That's how we got our information, a very unknown individual named Zack Snyder. I don't know how reliable of a source he really is on this, but that's where we got it from, and it turns out he was right. You gotta bet. Unfortunately, people on social media just don't quite grasp this concept of what Zack Snyder's Justice League really is. We have one person here saying, it's almost as if there was never any Snyder Cut, and Bat Bros simply harassed creators and journalists for years because they were fueled by the ass bag in the vest.
Another intelligent person on Twitter said, if something requires pre-production, production, and post-production with as much budget as this is getting, that's a new movie, not the fabled quotes ready to be released just with special effects cut they told us was sitting in a WB warehouse like the Ark. Another individual said, mockingly, obviously, I have a director's cut of a film I'd like to release. The film is in the can, totally in the can in hand. Hop on pop. Fucking.
Stay out of my way, or you'll pay. Listen to what I say.
How about I just go eat some hay?
I can make things out of clay and lay by the bay. I just may. What do you say?
It absolutely exists. A complete, real, and tangible film that is all finished. I just need $70 million for reshoots.
One tweet with 0 likes says, wait, does that mean this expensive alternate cut demanded by obsessive fans for years in the hopes it would fix a mediocre film is still going to have Cavill's uncanny CGI upper lip?
Remember, there are no stupid questions, just stupid people.
I would destroy the movie. I would set it on fire before I would use a single frame that I did not photograph. I literally would blow that fucking thing up.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
All right, have a seat, class. Welcome to Snyder Cut 101. The marks are gonna run you through what Zack Snyder's Justice League really is and what we're about to see on HBO Max in 2021.
This is a mandatory class and a prerequisite for seeing Zack Snyder's Justice League.
What the hell is that?
So to understand the Snyder Cut, we need to go back in time. First off, you need to understand that Zack Snyder filmed all principal photography and had an assembly cut that was almost 5 hours long. In February of 2017, he also screened a cut to executives that was apparently quote unquote unwatchable by some asshats that continually get shit wrong. Also, throughout January and February of 2017, he posted many post-production images showing color grading work, ADR work, and VFX work.
Look, when this movie came out, understand that we had written, Chris Terry and I had finished the script for Justice League before this movie came out, right? So that script was done. Movie came out, and some people didn't like the movie. A vocal minority. and so I was asked by the studio to like say, hey, you can't, there's a lot of stuff we don't want you to do from that script. So we did a rewrite, right, of the script. So the original Justice League that Chris and I wrote, we didn't even shoot. I mean, there's a lot of it that we shot, but the actual idea, the hard idea, the scary idea, we never filmed because the studio was like, that's crazy. And we were so insecure at the time after this movie came out, we were just like, I guess it is crazy. Like, we're fucking nuts. Like, what are we, there's gonna be mass hysteria in the streets if we film this.
He stated at SnyderCon that they had to make adjustments to the script, and not only did we lose his original BVS Steppenwolf design in this cut, there was many other compromises made as well. This was established as Snyder's compromised cut.
Then we fast forward to February of this year, 2020, where Zack Snyder screens his movie for HBO and WB execs.
The executives even left pumped, saying the Snyder Cut was real. Fast forward to May of 2020, HBO Max officially announces the Snyder Cut will be coming to their platform in 2021. What people fail to comprehend is that when HBO Max made this deal with Zack Snyder, they did not buy a movie, they bought a vision. HBO doesn't want Zack Snyder's compromised cut. They want his vision. What does that entail? Well, as we saw in the trailer, we have the original BVS Steppenwolf design. The aspect ratio is changing. The color grading is changing.
And it is really interesting and cool to start to like work with the original Steppenwolf design, who thankfully was in all of our previs. So like all the previs is the old Steppenwolf, you know, with his crazy armor and everything. So like, you know, it's underneath. So you just look underneath and you're like, oh, cool, look, that's how we were going to originally do it. You know, superheroes tend to be a sort of, as figures, they tend to be more, you know, less horizontal. You know, maybe Superman when he's flying, but when he's standing, he's more, you know, he's more of a vertical. Mm-hmm. And so I had, you know, everything's composed and shot that way. And a lot of the restoration is sort of trying to put that back, you know, put the big squares back.
In a recent interview with Junkie XL, where he said that his score was complete, but now he's being able to tweak things and change things compared to what he was able to do before. Because HBO Max, guess what, wants Snyder's vision for their platform, and they're willing to dump in more money than what was stated in that Hollywood Reporter article. Bob Greenblatt even stated this a long time ago.
Is actually building it, and it's complex, including, and I don't want to get into too much detail that we haven't already talked about yet, but new effect shots, and it's a radical rethinking of that movie, and it's complicated and wildly expensive, which is of course a number I won't quote, but
I've seen 20 million and 30 million, so I'm assuming it's around that.
Yeah, I'll just say I wish it was just 30 million and stop there. But
this is what people seem to fail to understand. The movie was largely completed. However, now he has the opportunity, after a couple years later, to go back and have his uncompromised version, the version that we heard live at SnyderCon. He has the ability to go back and add a little bit more. That does not mean that the movie did not exist originally.
The cut was clearly far along in post-production. The thing with this cut, it was a cut that the studio heavily interfered in. So when Snyder was brought the option by HBO Max to change things up, make things more like what his original script was, yes, he immediately jumped at that opportunity. So that doesn't mean that his cut never existed. A cut existed. But guess what? We're getting something better now, and what you refuse to understand. And this isn't reshoots. This is additional photography. These are things that he wants to take from that old script and insert back into this version. Bring it back to what he originally wanted for his 5-film arc. It's not that hard to understand. This is something that's so frustrating about Zack Snyder's Justice League. And we've had several comments saying that we're being assholes because people are just speculating. This is what they do. The problem with the speculation is that it's always wrong, and it's been proven wrong, and the fact that that information is already out there. This has been going on for 3 years. You don't need to speculate on a lot of this stuff. It's already been established. We already know the answers to a lot of these things, but yet people continue to speculate and make half-assed conclusions about things, and it just becomes very frustrating because the information is there, and it becomes frustrating when you've been following this stuff for so long, and yet people constantly keep making the same mistakes over and over again.
That's the crazy part, is that this information has been out there. We live in the information era, but yet it seems no matter what topic you are talking about in news, in movies, in politics, whatever it is, people will follow what they think is the actual truth when the facts are there, they are out there. You just have to do the research on your own. And that is why we get frustrated, is because we have seen it. All of this information is out there. It seems like the cocky insiders that claim to know everything are actually just complete morons. Check your sources, check your facts, do your research, and you will know what the truth is, what is actually out there. It's not that hard. Daniel Alter on Twitter puts it perfectly by saying it is so refreshing that more and more people realize how compromised the Hollywood, in quotes, press is. So many, in quotes, journalists and their outlets doing PR work for studios to control narratives, protect the secrets of the right people, and undermine those who threaten to expose things.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
One of the things that bloggers will hate even more is because Snyder is going back to that original script. Well, guess what? That goes to the original idea for the 5-movie arc. It seems like to me HBO Max loves what they're seeing, and they are fully vested into the Snyderverse. Justice League 2 and 3 are very likely on the way, and that could be a huge thing for HBO Max. To have Justice League as season 2 and 3 on your premier streaming service is a huge thing. To tell Zack Snyder's 5-movie arc on HBO Max is going to set HBO Max far from its competitors and truly distinguish it as a premier streaming platform.
In reaction to a tweet that says, honestly, didn't expect HBO Max to invest into filming new scenes for this, not to mention the actors they've been able to nab, Henry Cavill somehow taking a break from Witcher Season 2 filming. Daniel Alter replies, this is just the beginning.
Even Shiraz Faruqi of Forbes says no studio puts in a $70 million plus investment into a project for simply one and done. When Warner Media agreed to let Zack Snyder finish and repackage his vision as a series, the outlook is for more than just one season.
That'll buy you one heck of a bumpkin.
And also to lightly touch on Collider's so-called exclusive about Henry Cavill saying that he's not planning to do any reshoots or there is no reshoots. One, that interview was done weeks ago for Enola Holmes. It has nothing to do with the Hollywood Reporter article stating that there will be additional photography. And it's not like he's just gonna give a shitty site like Collider the exclusive that he is gonna go back for additional photography. And the fact that this idiot Steven Weintraub actually says he doesn't understand how he can fly from LA when shooting The Witcher, I got an idea.
You ever been in a cockpit before?
No, sir, I've never been up in a plane before.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
All right, that'll end our little episode talking about this update for Zack Snyder's Justice League that we already knew way back in February.
As always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe this beautiful video, particularly to those individuals that may seem to be a little bit confused. This should help clear it up, especially with our Snyder Cut 101.
We also want to thank our patrons and YouTube members. We've seen a growth in those numbers. We cannot do this without you guys. You guys are making this hobby viable because now it actually doesn't lose money.
Yes, thank you so much. We are truly humbled. And thank you everyone who has been subscribing to our channel, who has helped give us this nice little boost we've had recently. It has absolutely helped us and we cannot thank you enough. We have just crossed the 5,000 subscriber mark and we truly are humbled.
In case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.